everyone, Namaste and Salam Alaikum people. Hi, this is Mariya Khan, your master teacher of biology here at Vedantu. Guys, welcome to our short series wherein today we'll be discussing the second session on our favorite chapter, how do organisms reproduce. So people, if you're excited and curious to know about this chapter, like, share, subscribe, and yes, of course, post me a U. So chalo my army, without wasting any further time, let's quickly get started. So we have 2-marker questions, 3-marker questions, and 4-marker questions in our term 2 examination, right? So first, let's target the 2 markers. Now, the very first question asked over here is describe the path taken by the sperm during ejaculation. Now, there are many kids who get confused with this question. Like we had a question in our CBSE sample paper, the course of sperms after being ejaculated from the penis. So the answer was, of course, vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes, right? However, this is during ejaculation. It means you have to trace the path of a sperm when it is born and then released in the male reproductive system. So the path will be very clear from the testis to the vasa deferens, and from the vasa deferens to the urethra, which runs through the length of the penis. Okay, so this is what is expected out of you. Okay, so you either draw the schematic representation and you highlight whatever has to be done there. Okay, and then secondly, you can also write down in the form of points the way it has been written over here. Okay, urethra serves as a common passage for the expulsion of sperm and urine, as we all know, right? So this is our 2-marker first question. So let's proceed to the next one. What is meant by term regeneration? So re means again, generate means to grow. So regeneration actually means regrow. So what exactly happens during regeneration? In regeneration, the organism is either able to regrow the lost body part, okay, or the organism is able to transform into a new organism from the lost part, right? Yes or no? Yes. How is this possible? This is possible with the help of specialized cells which divide and redivide, that is proliferate, okay, and then undergo the process of differentiation and lead to the transformation of either a body organ or an organism, right? So you can explain your concepts in the form of flow charts or a mind map, but they should be very crisp and clear so that everyone understands. Okay, so yes, here is the answer. So I have given you 2 different styles to represent the same answer, and yes, of course, whether they are asking you or not, providing your answer with an example is a must. So give the example of organism who reproduces by regeneration. So planaria, starfish, hydra, you can write any of them. Okay, great. Chalo, if you're finding the session to be useful, you know what has to be done. Like, share, subscribe, post me a U. Okay, chalo. Now the next question. In a bisexual flower, in spite of the young stamens being removed artificially, okay, the flower produces fruit. Explain. How? Okay, now suppose there's a flower, okay, and it has the female part, that's the stigma, okay, and the male part, stamens, have been removed. Now let's assume that this is born on plant A, okay, plant A. Now there is another plant B, okay. Now here is another flower, okay, and it has it has stamens, okay, and then it will also have, of course, the female part, okay. Now the pollen grains, okay, which color shall I use? Color, which color? Yellow. Okay, the pollen grains produced in the anther of one plant, they get transferred onto the stigma of the other plant. And this phenomenon is known as what, people? Of course, this process is what we call it as cross pollination. Right or no? Yes. So yeah, when a plant is able to produce flowers or fruits despite of its male members being removed artificially, emasculated, which we call it as, the plant is still able to reproduce because of cross pollination. Okay, the answer over here is very clear. Cross pollination. Okay, cross pollination. Perfect. Cross pollination eventually leads to fertilization, and post fertilization a fruit is developed. I hope that clears your doubt. Okay, very important question, interesting one. And without wasting any further time, chalo my yo army, hit on the like button yaar. Like, share, subscribe, post me a yo. Hey my yo army, let's proceed with the next one. What would be the ratio of chromosomes between an egg and a zygote? So egg, zygote. Okay, egg is the gamete and gametes are always haploid. Zygote is formed after the fusion of the gametes. So of course it is, zygote is always diploid. So haploid we represent it as n. Diploid we always represent it as 2n. So the ratio has to be 1:2. Right? Yes or no? Now how is the sperm genetically different from the egg? Okay. Now sperm is the male gamete, egg is the female gamete, and both contain haploid set of chromosomes. Apart from that, egg cells, okay, egg cells contain XX as the sex, only X as the sex chromosome, okay, because in females we see that females have XX sex chromosomes, so out of them only one is passed into the gamete, right? So all the eggs contain only X as the sex chromosome. But in the male body, okay, there is X and Y as a sex chromosome. So sperms can either contain X chromosome or they might contain Y chromosome. And it's always or. So that's the primary difference between the egg cell and the sperm cell when it comes to genetic differences. Physical differences: egg is non-motile, sperm is motile. Egg is large in size as it stores food, sperm is non-motile. Right? So they can ask you such kind of differences, the difference between the male and the female gamete. So you mention one is the egg cell, the other one is the sperm cell. Both are haploid, and you can tell the genetic differences. Okay, there are two types of sperm cells formed in the male body. One carrying the X cell and the other one as the Y. One carrying the X chromosome and the other carrying the Y chromosome. Okay, chalo. I hope this helps. Without wasting any further time, guys, like, share, subscribe, and post me a you. Okay, chalo. Now that we have covered 2 markers, let us move to the 3 markers. Now, can you consider cell division as a type of reproduction in unicellular organisms? So guys, here if we take amoeba, it can divide through any plane, है ना? And it can give rise to 2 daughter amoeba. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Even if we talk about paramecium, it's the same thing. Even if we talk about euglena, it's the same thing, right? So organisms divide by process of mitosis. In case of amoeba, it's amitosis, right? So organisms divide by mitosis in order to reproduce by the process of binary fission, and thus we can consider that cell division is of course a type of reproduction. Okay, so here they have given a wonderful explanation, but you can definitely support your answer with the help of a diagram. Okay, so here they have written an example. If you want, you can draw a schematic representation with the help of a diagram as well. Okay, sure. Now, list 3 differences between pollination and fertilization. What is pollination? It's the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma. What is fertilization? The fusion of gametes is known as fertilization. Right? Now, guys, first of all, you will define what is pollination and what is fertilization. Now, pollination is essential for the fertilization to occur. Fertilization takes place once pollination is done successfully. Once pollination is done, pollen tube germinates, which helps the male gametes to travel down right till the ovary. Correct? Then, pollination. What is the purpose of pollination? The purpose of pollination is to transfer the male gametes. Okay? See, it carries the male gametes with the help of pollen grains. Okay? To the female sex organ. The main function is transportation. What is fertilization? It is the fusion of the two gametes, male gamete with the female gamete. Correct? Yeah. So that's the difference. Okay. Now, why is vegetative propagation practiced for growing some plants? So first of all, vegetative propagation is done mostly for the plants which cannot bear viable seeds, seedless plants. Okay, like in case of grapes, like in case of banana. So we don't have viable seeds, so they can be easily grown with this way. Second, to produce plants which are genetically similar, identical plants. Okay. Third, to produce plants which mature within a very short duration. Okay, so that the flowers produce fruits and flowers at an early age. Okay. So these are the three different reasons, and there are many more. Okay. So let's see. So first, cannot produce viable seeds. That's the first reason. Okay. Of course, for the superior traits, maybe amazing color, shape, taste of the fruits, nutrient value, quality as well as quantity. So yeah, for the superior traits present in the plants. Okay. It is used for growing plants which require long time to grow and mature. So to reduce the duration for maturation, we use this technique. Okay. And then tissue culture, it is done in an enclosed environment inside a laboratory under controlled conditions. There is controlled temperature, controlled light conditions, everything is controlled, monitored, and hence sensitive plants can be easily taken care of in these conditions. Okay. So yeah, that's the next point. So very important question, though we don't pay a heed much to this topic, but tissue culture is very, very important. Okay. Next, variation is beneficial to the species but not for the individual. Now variations occur because when a copy of the DNA is created, it's a biochemical process. It's not 100% accurate, and these inaccuracies lead to variations. Now these variations can be useful, these variations can be harmful. It can impact that individual, right? However, variations, okay, for the entire population play a significant role. For example, all of a sudden there is a change in the environmental conditions because of some natural disaster. For example, let's assume that the temperature of the water body increases drastically and there are bacteria. Most of the bacteria would die because they could not adapt to the changing environmental condition. But some thermoresistant bacteria who can withstand high temperature, greater temperature, they will survive. So how these variants are formed? Of course, because of variations. So these variations can help the entire population, okay, or a set from the entire population to survive and adapt. But it will not be a case for an individual, because for example, out of 100 bacteria, there is only one bacteria which has shown that kind of variation. And suppose throughout its entire life, there is no change in the water temperature only. So this variation would be like useless for him. है ना? So variations are useful for the species. It may or may not be for an individual, not necessarily. Okay?
एग्जाम से पहले घर वाले शुरू हो जाते हैं।
बादाम दूध पी लो बेटा। मार्क्स के लिए ना टिप्स हर कोई देता है।
इसलिए वेदांतु इम्प्रूवमेंट प्रॉमिस।
अब वेदांतु मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी लेगा, वरना आपकी पूरी फीस वापस।
Sure. Let's talk about a 4-marker question now. But prior to that, like, share, subscribe. Don't be a confused man. Chalo. Sorry. कहाँ गई मैं? Yep, here. So चलो my army. अरे ओ भाई, yeah. Sorry for the interruption. So let's talk about the 4 markers. Okay. Now, what are the changes observed in the uterus if fertilization does not occur? What will happen? Guys, every month the ovary releases one egg so that it can get fertilized and pregnancy can be established. However, if the egg is not fertilized, the egg degenerates. In order to receive the fertilized egg, the uterus prepares itself every month. It becomes soft, thick, vascular, well supplied with blood vessels so as to nourish the developing embryo. But if fertilization doesn't occur, the uterus lining slowly and gradually degenerates. It finally breaks and it is shed out along with blood and mucus and with the tissues of degenerating egg in the form of menstrual blood. And then the same cycle will repeat. So this entire cycle is what we call it as menstrual cycle. Right from the release to the preparation of the endometrium till its degeneration and breakage. The entire cycle is called as menstrual cycle, which lasts for 28 days, and the bleeding phase that extends from 2 to 8 days, varies from person to person, right? So present your answer in proper points. It would be great if you support your answer with the help of a diagram. Okay, you can draw the menstrual cycle as a calendar circle like your wish. Okay, maybe you can write if the egg is not fertilized, endometrium becomes thinner, and whatever maybe you can write stepwise. Okay, yeah, and then write the name of those parts of flower which serve the same function as the following does in the animals. Sure. So testis, which organ works like testis in plants? Testis produce sperms. So in plants, anthers produce pollen grain. So the answer over here has to be anther, right? Sperms are the male gametes. Now what are the male gametes? There are 2 male gametes present in the pollen grain. So you can write pollen grain which holds the 2 male gametes, right? Ovaries produce ova, egg. Then plants also, ovaries produce egg cells, ovules, right? Perfect. So mention the changes a flower undergoes after fertilization. And the third one is list 2 advantages of growing grapes and bananas through vegetative propagation. So chalo, let's do one by one. So this is the first one I told you, testis, anther, sperms, pollen grains, which contains 2 male gametes. Okay, ovary, of course ovaries in plants also, they produce ovules, and inside the ovule there are egg cells. And then changes occurring in flower post fertilization. So post fertilization, ovule transforms into seed, ovary into fruit, all the floral parts they wither away, yes or no, है ना? And what else? Yeah, zygote divides and redivides to form embryo, and embryo is present within the seed, embryo and stored food, correct? So these are the 4 changes. Easy, super duper easy. Next, advantages of growing banana and grapes. Now banana and grapes, they do not produce viable seeds. So how to propagate them? We have to offer some mode of vegetative propagation. And yes, so in case of grapes, we use we use cutting, okay, and we then graft them. We take the stem cuttings and we graft them over the roots of some sturdy plants. Okay, that's what is done in terms of grapes. Yeah, so we take stem cuttings and we graft them. Okay, we graft the scion over some wild stalk of a plant. Okay, that's what is done with grapes. And bananas, bananas we take the root comb and we use plant tissue culture for propagating, and that's the reason why we obtain banana fruits throughout the year. Okay, yeah. And apart from that, there are so many varieties of these plants, no? So many variants of grape, so many variants of banana. So if you want to preserve the same trait, parental trait, so you can opt for plant tissue culture, because it helps you to reproduce plants asexually and which are genetically identical plants. Okay, great. So I hope everything is clear, and if you want to have such kind of conceptual clarity, and if you want to study with the experts, stay with us, not just till your grade 10, but also for your 11th, 12th, maybe your journey of NEET or JEE, because we have expert faculties from across the country. We have test series assignments, we have study materials, we have notes. You can download the premium handwritten downloadable notes. Apart from that, you get in-class doubt solving. You get a language preference, whether you want to enroll in an English batch or a English batch. So everything is tailor-made as per your requirement. Okay. So join in our Vedantu's live and interactive courses. Even our replays are interactive. और क्या interactivity चाहिए? So there will be n number of quizzes in each of our sessions. We cover your entire syllabus. There will be handwritten notes, all doubts, chapter-wise assignments. You get mock tests to practice, and plus thousands of micro courses free of cost. So already our JEE results are out, NEET results are out, and they have made a huge achievement across, है ना? So many enrollments in the leading institutions, academic institutions. तो आप भी कर सकते हो. तो इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? I'll say कि enroll in our early batches for NEET and JEE. Okay. So if you enroll today, you get class 10 term 2 revision. Still 3 weeks are remaining, right? Absolutely free of cost. So 10th term 2 revision along with NEET JEE preparation, NEET or JEE preparation. Okay. And we have 3 type of subscriptions: light, classic and plus. So all the basic features are available with light, and the course price is 59,999. But the amazing thing is, with my coupon code, it is offered to you at 53,999. Huge discount, right? Now if you want classic, okay, if you want classic, it is for 74,999. However, with my coupon code, it is offered to you at 67,499. And the third thing, if you want a personalized, if you want a personal mentor, that's available with plus. Okay, that's for 1,20,000 almost. However, with my coupon code, it's for 1,07,999. But what's my code? My code is MAKPRO. So every time you apply my coupon code, what's my coupon code, guys? MACPRO. Whenever you apply my coupon code, you get a whooping discount. So yes, use my coupon code and experience the goodness at Vedantu. I will recommend you the Pro Light course. That's absolutely pocket friendly. And for 2 years, definitely it's pocket friendly, guys. You check out the rates of the courses available offline or by other academic institutions. You will find it definitely reasonable and with so many enormous benefits. It's high time that you have an early start. So the link to enroll in the batches has been given in the description box. Ensure to apply my coupon code, that's MACPRO, to avail the discount. And that's it for the day, guys. Let's meet in the next session. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Milo Wapis, and keep watching Vedantu. Bye-bye. Take care.
बच्चों के मार्क्स जितने कम आते हैं, पापा का वॉल्यूम उतना ही बढ़ जाता है.
ये होती है पढ़ाई.
पर कभी सोचा है कि मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी सिर्फ बच्चों की ही क्यों?
अब वेदांतु मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी लेगा, वरना आपकी पूरी फीस वापस.